solar. And here's the greatest part of the story. The company was created by a corporal who came back from Operation Iraqi Freedom. And he started this company, and he now employs a third of all his employees are veterans from the Iraq War. And they believe that solar energy will help create a clean, independent, and energy future. And working in an industry is a continuation of their service to this nation. It is a perfect connection for creating green jobs, not only to take unemployed and put them back to work, but also, as our veterans come back from Iraq, to put them in jobs that are going to continue to grow exponentially into the future. When I came to this job about 5 years ago, the solar industry had about 20,000 people employed in the United States. Today there's over 80,000, and that number is continuing to grow very rapidly. And we have become an economic engine in this country. But there's a downside. Just like every other industry in the United States, the recession is having a significant impact on solar energy. And you've read about it in the papers. OptiSolar, SunPower, Akina, Advent, so many of these companies are downsizing or substantially reducing their manufacturing base or shutting down completely. And as we see a downturn in the economy and we see a lack of liquidity in the markets, we're seeing a massive decrease in sales. And we estimate that without the stimulus that's going to come in the recovery bill, solar will decrease by about 50% in 2009 over 2008. So very quickly, we've come from being an economic engine to being another industry in line of the unemployment lines. And we'd like to try to avoid that. And I think what's very important to recognize is that this downturn can be reversed relatively easily. And with the right policies in the stimulus bill, solar will not only recover and grow, but we will be one of the industries that lifts up the entire economy and puts people back to work. Based on the House and the Senate versions that are out there today, we did an analysis, and we will create, in 2009 alone, if this bill is passed in the next couple of weeks, in 2009 alone, the solar industry will create 67,000 jobs in the next 10 months here in the United States. Next year, we're going to create another 120,000 jobs, and that's based on conservative estimates. I mean, we are in a position right now where we're not only shovel ready, but we're blowtorch ready, we're screwdriver ready, we're hammer ready, you know. We literally have warehouses full of equipment, and we have an army of installers that are willing to declare war on the recession, but we need the leadership from Congress right now to give us this signal that it's time to go. We need to create these liquidity in the market. We need to make sure that demand keeps growing in this country. So specifically, what we're asking for from Congress are a couple of things, and I just want to highlight some of them because I think you'll understand how important it is in the market. We have a long-term extension of our tax credits that thankfully Congress passed in October. But unfortunately, in a recession, the tax credits just don't work. So what we're asking Congress to do is to adopt the House version of the bill that converts the investment tax credit into a grant program at the Department of Energy. It provides much needed liquidity into the marketplace for just the next 2 years to help the economy stabilize. The second is that we need to enhance the federal government's ability to install solar by increasing their authority to enter into power purchase agreements. This is a financial mechanism that's been used in the private sector very, very successfully the last couple of years, but the federal government can't employ that type of structure simply because of arcane rules. All we're asking is that the federal government have the same chance to participate in the electricity marketplace that the private sector does. It will not only increase jobs and increase the use of solar, but it will save taxpayers money from day one. The third is we need to establish a federal loan guarantee program that actually works. In 2005, the EPAC created a program at the Department of Energy, but since then, in the 3.5 years, they have not issued one loan guarantee out of that program. It's atrocious. So what we're asking Congress to do is to create a program that not only works and provides loan guarantees quickly, but that allows new and substantially improved technologies to qualify and to be deployed rapidly. Again, think about the marketplace. There's very, very little liquidity in the debt markets. To have the federal government to be able to back new and innovative technologies that some people in Wall Street and the banking community might view as higher risk is absolutely critical for us getting the funding. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, we need a manufacturing tax credit in this country for facilities that engage in the manufacturing of solar materials. And I certainly applaud Senator Stabenow for being a co-sponsor of an amendment with Senator Bingaman that will ensure that this is part of the bill. And we can no longer afford to watch our jobs go overseas to China and Germany and Japan, and it's simply because we can't compete. Their federal governments offer strong incentives to attract new manufacturing. And what does our federal government offer? Very little, if anything. It's really dependent upon the states. So when we saw those jobs in Michigan that were created, it was because Governor Granholm has done such a good job in attracting new manufacturing to the state and providing a good incentive. But you know, one thing I want to point out here,